Yeah, man. Let's kill that bass head. Alright, let's do this.
I'm on the air, we got this pockets flow. It's me and Tony on the mics, we gotta let you know of current events, little gaming, sprinkle in some entertainment. We stay humble, but our moms still think we're famous. Turn up the bass and baby, maybe let that magic flow. Our spoken word is all the things you really wanna know. Having a good time on the show, T-Bows and Matty G. Tune in and hit subscribe and join us on the FAP.
Welcome, everybody, to the Freaking Awesome Podcast. I am your host, Anthony Bowes, and sadly, Matty G is not with us again today, but that's okay, because we're always more than thrilled to have wonderful guests as we do today. And, of course, we are going on our continued topic of our love of Star Wars. And that is also say that we are sponsored by, today's episode is sponsored by Blue Bull's Outer Rim Saber Shop, as well as CR Sabers. So if you're looking for lightsabers, you're looking to, if it's just like your own love of Star Wars, or if you're looking to cosplay or anything, these are the shops that you want to get from. We're going to get a little bit more into them and our tech bench coming up soon. But in the meantime, we have a wonderful guest today. Her name is Jen Cleroux, and she is a member of the Mandalorian Mercs as well as the 501st. So, Jen, welcome.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
We are super excited to have you. Of course, again, with our theme of Star Wars, I couldn't not be able to get in touch, of course, and I was really lucky to have our sponsor connect us, because I'm a huge fan of the Mandalorian Mercs and the 501st and everything they stand for and everything they do. And it's not only just from a Star Wars point of view, but just again, everything you guys do, and you do so much more than just dress up in costumes. I know it's one of those things as an adult, other adults kind of look at you and they say, you're it's just like Halloween doesn't end, but it really comes down to the question, and I'm sure a lot of people ask you this, but why do you enjoy doing this?
So originally, like, same idea, like what you were saying, I love costuming. I've loved costuming for my entire life. Halloween was always my favorite holiday. And then, when I learned about the 501st, the Mando Mercs, it was just really exciting. It was like, oh man, like I want to be like, I want to hang out with those guys.
Yeah.
I would see them at conventions, like Halloween parades, things like that. And I always wanted to be involved in that. And then it was actually a friend of mine, my friend Zoph. He is the Canadian regional commander, or he used to be the Canadian regional commander for the Mandalorian Mercs costuming club.
Okay.
He was also a client of mine. So I work in a hair salon,
Okay.
and he every time he'd come in for a haircut, he'd be like, "Hey, you ready to join the Mercs? Like, you ready to do this?" And then finally one day he was like, "We're having a barbecue. Why don't you just come hang out with us at the barbecue? Come meet some new friends." So it was a multi-club. The 501st was there. The Mando Mercs was there. And then by the next week, I was at an armor party. So
Amazing.
yeah,
So it's like, come on in, drink the Kool-Aid, see what you think.
absolutely. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Very, very cool. So there's as you had mentioned, so I didn't know 100% if the 501st and the Mandalorian Mercs kind of worked hand in hand with things, or if they were independent. I've been to a few Comic-Cons, and again, here's another thing that a lot of people look at and they say, you've just got to be a big old nerd if you're still an adult and you're looking at comics, or you're looking, but it's more than that. There's a lot of like movie fandom and board games and all these things that you'd like to share with your own children. And so I find that Comic-Cons are there's something about when you go into that, the buzz, the air of people that are all kind of like-minded. They're just here to have a great time, and at the same time, just seeing the amount of detail that people go into when they're of course doing their own cosplays and costumes. So again, when you see the 501st, I mean, they're notorious for the Comic-Cons and everything they bring. I'm just floored by the realism and the amount of work that they put into the items.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, because it has to be screen accurate. Like, that's the thing with so I have my TIE pilot right behind me here. So 501st, you do need to be screen accurate. As for Mandalorians, you are allowed to have your own original character. I have purple, blue, and teal. So I think that was my hair color at the time. I was like, ooh, what color am I going to make it? Hair
Yep.
colors. Yeah, actually, so one thing that I was going to mention as well is the fact that one of the things I'm proud of in British Columbia, all 5 clubs. So we have the 501st,
Mhm.
the Rebel Legion, Saber Guild, and the Droid Builders, and then of course the Mando Mercs. We actually all work together.
Oh,
Big conventions, we plan. We get all the officers, or we get officers from each club to actually plan the conventions together. We're that much of a Star Wars family here.
unified group. Yeah.
We're all pretty close. It's really nice. Yeah. So, we get to do all these conventions together. So that's fantastic. And, I know that I just heard, like, when I first got into the Mercs, I heard that there could be a little bit of tension between the clubs,
Yeah.
who's been around. Well, because obviously the 501st has been around longer. People know them more. Like when you say 501st versus Mando Mercs, people know the 501st.
That's right.
But I feel that, our 501st here, the Outer Rim Garrison was just, they were so welcoming, and, they just, we all just wanted to work together because at the end of the day, we have the same goals. We want to raise money for charity, and we want to put a smile on people's face.
Yeah, for sure. It's amazing. Before, of course, I forget, Hannah, thank you very much. She showed it and said hi to Jen.
Oh, hi. She's actually
Again,
one of our recruits.
yeah, wonderful. So anybody else, of course, who's watching the stream right now, which I notice there are a bunch of people, you're more than welcome to jump in, send a message, say hi. If you have any questions for Jen, please jump in and message. I don't often say that, or I have a tendency to forget. I just assume people will do it. But this is a bit of an open show, so you're welcome to do that at any time. Okay, to continue. So with the Mandalorian Mercs, as you'd mentioned, with the 501st, things have to be very screen accurate. But with the Mercs, there is also a very large list of approvals that have to go through. And this is one of the things I find very interesting, because I really love looking at the Mandalorian Mercs Costume Club on their Facebook page and their Instagrams. And I really like seeing people's unique take on things. But of course, it goes through a very rigorous screening process to find out what era does this fall in, and is this accurate enough to, of course, to join the club. So that in itself is it goes to show the importance of this club and what it means to the people who are within the club, because it's not like anybody could just like cut something out of foam and say, hey, let's go, because it's actually one of the things that's against the rules, right? You can't.
Exactly.
And as someone who did a little work with foam in the past, I built a Star-Lord helmet that I was rather impressed with and surprised. You couldn't tell at the time that it was made of foam, but it takes a lot of work to work with the foam. But now looking at something like the ABS or the PLA kind of armors, so what is yours made of? Like, how do you put yours together?
So mine is made out of Sintra. So it's there's different sizes. So mine's 6 millimeter. And basically what it is, it's like a heat forming plastic. So you basically, you start out with a sheet of it. Sorry, I have some in the other room, but you start out with this big sheet of it. I think we started with like a 3x3. There are templates that you can actually access from the forums. Now, when I first started, I started building in 2016. We had pretty much the only acceptable modern plates were Boba and Jango. We didn't have the Knights of Ren. We didn't have, Sabine at that. I don't think we had Sabine at the time. Like there's so many more now. So what you can do is you basically just go onto the forums. You can print out the templates and trace it out, heat it up. I mean, it seems like a lot, but when you break it down, I mean, it's not as overwhelming as people think it is. But yeah, you are right though. It is definitely strict. The difference I would say between the 501st being accepted into the 501st versus the Mando Mercs is the 501st, I got my costume, put it all together, made sure I put everything on properly, and then you send it in and it has to be very specific. And so if you meet those specifics, then you get approved. Whereas with the Mercs, they're like, okay, well, everybody's is so individual. So we have a certain set of guidelines that we have to follow to approve it. So like, for example, you obviously have to have a helmet. You need to have your chest plate, your collar, and then things have actually changed over time as well. So like there are some now that are like some CRLs, so the costume requirement, they're slightly different now. Sorry, I'm not actually as familiar with that. I'm not the costume of the compliance officer in this club. I'm just the group leader. But yeah, no, there are definitely some now that are very different. So as long as you're hitting those requirements, that's the main thing there.
Okay. Now, now I know you're not kind of that official kind of judger of things, but and that's great because you know what, we will put up a link, of course, to anybody who's interested in the Mandalorian Mercs, and we'll, you know, people can branch out from there. But so you were saying the products or the stuff you make your armors from, you'd said it was
Intra.
Sintra, yes.
Yeah,
So
science
with
array.
yeah. So I mean, I've seen a lot of people doing like 3D prints of their helmets and stuff because it's a little bit more detailed. It's great because if you have a 3D printer, you know, you just kind of press it, you get your file, your STL file, and you go. But with the Sintra, it obviously takes a little bit more forming, a little bit more work to work out the breastplate, the backplate, and everything else.
Absolutely.
Is there any kind of recommendation, like with the Sintra? First of all, where do you get Sintra?
So, I mean, I think I had some friends order some in for me, but there are certain places I know. Industrial Paints and Plastics. That was kind of one of our go-to places originally, because I mean, 2016. That wasn't that long ago. That was only 5 years ago. But at the same time, for Mandalorians and for the Mandalorian Mercs Costuming Club, things have changed exponentially with the amount of people that are wanting to join the club, with the fact that we have this TV show, The Mandalorian, now.
Yeah.
It's definitely, there we go. It's definitely it's changed quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, I don't even, I think there's a lot more places you can get it now. I think you can even order it online.
Okay, yeah. Now, so again, just saying how things have changed over the years. I mean, here you have here's a whole group that has been built off of one character that probably hasn't had any more than like 60 seconds of screen time throughout the Star Wars universe and all the films. But I mean, even as a child, I saw Boba Fett, and you know, his a few lines that were in the movie, and yet here I was instantly fascinated by it, like one of the most amazing characters, and all I could think of is like, whoa, how come there isn't anything more about Boba Fett? You know, and you know, he's just standing in the background, he's using that classic can scream and falling into the Sarlacc pit, you know, like here's all these different things. And you know, I remember I was so interested in Boba Fett that I actually had purchased a book that was called The Bounty Hunter Tales, and it actually takes place, it tells you what happens to Boba Fett afterwards and how he gets out of the Sarlacc pit, which I thought really interesting with the Mandalorian, when of course they bring Boba Fett back, and it doesn't say like, well, hey, how did his armor get into the possession of the Jawas? And I think that is somewhere in between. This book kind of takes place where his armor's falling off when he's coming out of the Sarlacc pit, and then when he then circles back around, he's got his armor and he's still hunting Han Solo after all these years. I got to tell you, like, that has got to be either one dedicated bounty hunter, or it is like really personal and he just can't let it go. So you would think, here's a character that Jedi has taken off his dad's head, you think he'd be more personal about that than a bounty.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I really appreciate about the show is the fact that they did leave that open. So actually just the other day, the behind the scenes Mandalorian season 2 just came out. And so a lot of my friends are talking about that now. And so I've been watching that. And it's been a lot of fun just watching behind the scenes, shooting with Tamora Morrison. I actually got to meet him 2019 at Washington Summer Con. Oh, what a great guy. And I would definitely highly recommend watching that if you have Disney Plus. It's the behind the scenes making of Mandalorian. It's fantastic. Okay. And I'm just really glad that they brought Tamora Morrison to play Boba Fett. Like, how fitting is that? Like, especially at an older age. I mean, if they did do a younger one, then oh my goodness, I can't think of his name right now, that played
Daniel
young
something. Yeah, Daniel.
It's gonna bug me. But yeah,
I know exactly who you're talking about. He still actually travels in the circuit as young Boba Fett. And,
I love him. I would love to meet him one day. Actually, that would be, oh my god, I would love that. But yeah, Tamora Morrison is fantastic, and so I'm really glad that they did bring him back. And like I was saying, the fact that the show kind of left that open to interpretation. So I feel like, because like I'm a big fan of the expanded universe, and so you know, when Disney bought Lucasfilm, I remember I was, oh my God, I was on book like 18 of 20 of the new Jedi Order. And I
Okay.
had spent a couple years. Daniel Logan, thank you,
Daniel
Lear. Lear
Logan.
is
Thanks,
actually one of
Lee.
the official members. Yeah, so yeah, I was on book like 18 of 20 of the new Jedi Order, and I had spent a couple years reading that series. And so, you know, when I found out that they weren't going to make the books canon, I was a little bit upset.
Yes.
But I really appreciate how, oh my God, you know, the fact that that Disney is really, I guess like Disney is really just making sure that they're, well, first of all, they're hiring the right people. Jon
Yeah.
Favreau and Dave Filoni, oh my God, couldn't have asked for anyone better for
Mhm.
that. But the fact that they're kind of keeping things open, you know, they're talking about Thrawn. You know, they brought in Ahsoka Tano. Oh my God, can we just
Yes.
like a moment?
Right.
Anyways,
Big
is
fan.
is now the time to
No, no, no. We'll get to that. Hold in. Hang in there.
oh my God,
I know it's so
I'm
exciting.
too excited. I'm too excited.
Yep.
Yeah, so anyways, I do appreciate the fact that, you know, Disney is allowing, you know, people like Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, obviously who are huge Star Wars fans, to
Mhm.
be able to kind of play around in this universe. And the fact that they're, you know, didn't touch base on what happened to Boba Fett. So it's like, cool, you know, can we use some parts of this book to fill in those missing pieces?
Yeah.
I think it's just awesome. So
Exactly. So, I mean, we can all kind of, I guess, assume at this point the Book of Boba Fett will try to bring us up to speed as to where that comes.
yeah.
Now, and maybe you've heard a little bit more, of course, being part of the Mercs. Maybe you've got a little bit more insider information. But I was under the understanding that originally season 3 of The Mandalorian was going to go on hiatus while the Book of Boba Fett was playing, but now I have heard they're going to be running them back to back and alternating between the Book of Boba Fett one week and then the Mandalorian the next. Have you heard anything of that?
You know what? I don't know more than anyone else does, but
Yep.
I'm really excited about that because I was like, you know what? That's okay. Okay, you know, if we're getting to Book of Boba Fett, I can wait for more Din Djarin. But when I found out, like, I was just, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really exciting. Actually, that's one thing that they talk about in the behind the scenes is like having. I think it was like in the first episode of season 2, behind
Mhm.
the scenes, they're talking about, you know, just having a lot going on. Like yeah. Anyways, I'm
Yeah.
really excited. I'll take both shows.
I think I was a little bit worried when they'd finished off. I mean, they had that just like iconic moment with Luke Skywalker showing up to take Grogu. And I thought, oh my God, is this it? Are they just like, they're going to leave it? Because when they came in saying, stay tuned for the Book of Boba Fett, I thought that's it. Din Djarin was just done. And then I was like, well, no, now I've fallen for this new character, and I think that he's absolutely amazing. He's got his own stories, and because he's a bounty hunter, I mean, there's endless possibilities on script, right? And it didn't have to just. I mean, I know everybody fell in love with Grogu or Baby Yoda, as everybody knows him.
Baby
Uh,
Yoda.
yep, but there's so much more there, and clearly Grogu has to come back. But because if Din Djarin is now a clan of 2, you know, I don't think they can just throw this little, you know, swampling, bogling, whatever he is on the by the wayside, whatever Yoda's clan is. I'm not sure what his race is.
You know, I don't think they've ever said. I
No,
think that's the one thing. I don't think that they've ever said that what he is. And I mean, there's now 3. I don't know if we talk about there's Yoda, Yaddle. I don't think we talk about Yaddle. Is it
no, I
Yaddle?
don't think anybody said anything about Yaddle. No, so
Well, I don't think we talk about Yaddle. That was an interesting choice in episode 1. Episode 1, I believe. Yeah. So I mean, here's the thing: is that what I loved about The Mandalorian is, first of all, it made Mandalorian so much more popular, and I love that so much. You know, there are some people like, you know, oh, OG, like Mandalorian fan, you know, but I don't care. The way I see it is, if there are more Mandalorian fans, it means I get to talk to more people about Star Wars. Like,
that's
this
right.
makes me
That's
really
right.
happy. And
Exactly.
I know that there are some people who got into this because of Baby Yoda.
Mhm.
And you know what? It doesn't even matter. Like, if that draws in more fans and makes more Star Wars fans, like, I'm so stoked on that. Um,
Exactly.
you know, and I think that for Disney to have Baby Yoda go away, I think that would be a mistake personally, just because he was a huge draw for, I
Yeah.
think, a lot of people. So I think that they might lose viewership if they decide to not bring him back into season 3. So I have a feeling we're going to be seeing him, maybe not first episode, but I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing him pretty soon.
I would think maybe by the end of season 3. I mean, he's got some training to do. We've seen posters out there with Luke Skywalker and Grogu building his own lightsaber. He's got the yellow guardian kind of crystals, so we'll be interested to see where that goes. But you're right. I mean, here's another little character. I mean, everybody kind of loved Luke and Leia and Yoda, and they were all kind of canon characters. So much got built from that, and to bring in now. Personally, I feel like Jon Favreau has he's single-handedly, basically, well, between him and Dave Filoni, they've brought back Star Wars. No offense to the new movies, they filled the gap of Star Wars in my life, but I just didn't find the characters. You just couldn't attach to them. They could have been played by anybody.
Yeah.
It was a little unfortunate, but hey, you still have lightsabers. You still find, a little bit of continuation with the Emperor and the fact that he's still going. And there's no spoilers. There's so much going on. Yeah, if you haven't seen it by now, screw you guys. Like, sorry.
You've had your chance.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. When it came to the last 3 movies, pretty much what I say when people ask me my opinion, like, what did you think about the final 3 movies? I'm like, they were entertaining.
Yeah, they were good.
They were Star Wars. They were entertaining. Good. I got to see lightsaber battles. I got to see, I got to see lots of ships. Like, it was fun. It was definitely fun. I mean, there were definitely moments that I could have done without, but I mean, overall, I saw them all in theaters multiple times because it's fun. It's Star Wars on the big screen. Like,
that's right. Yeah. Not a lot of people get to see that, right? I mean, you think about the originals now, not to date myself too much, but I remember being a child and seeing let's just say one of the original 3 and and it was just amazing, and I think it's probably one of the reasons why my continued love of Star Wars continues to build, regardless of nothing really happening. And like episode 1, 2, 3, I like that. It was I know there was a lot of beef or kick up about Jar Jar Binks and some of the other characters, but what I loved about the 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9 is that they brought back people in costume. They brought back Muppeteering. Like, it wasn't just all CG, so it looked so much more realistic and believable, and that's what I loved about the original Star Wars.
I appreciated that so much. Well, I think just kind of they wanted to have like a continuation feel from episode 6. Yes. I mean, like, the one thing I say about all the Star Wars movies, honestly, like when people say like, oh, the prequels are garbage, the sequels are garbage, the originals are the best. Every single Star Wars movie has its good and its bad moments. Like, episode 1, there are definitely parts that I'm like, it's a little cringy, but whatever. But I mean, without episode 1, we wouldn't have the Qui-Gon and Darth Maul fight. We wouldn't have Duel of Fates, which by far is my favorite Star Wars song. Anyways, we wouldn't have that. Yep. Episode 2, I mean, I got into like the clones. Like, I am a huge fan of the clones and just their stories. So for me, episode 2, I mean, I'll be honest, when I saw episode 2, I remember watching it at home, and it was a part where Anakin was on Naboo, and they're rolling around in the field and being all lovey-dovey, and I fell asleep. I wasn't a fan of that. However, bring me to Camino, and I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? Like, we have like Jango Fett, we have young Boba Fett, we have like all these clones, the Kaminoans, just like this beautiful stormy planet. So yeah, I don't know.
Very interesting, right? You've got this beautiful, crisp, clean interior of this huge cloning facility and nothing but storms and chaos outside. So that in itself was a really cool concept. You see Jango Fett, and I think that's the first time where you see another Mandalorian, and like your mind goes, you're just like, oh my God, and his armor's so shiny, because of course we never really, you don't hear about Beskar and that refined, perfect Mandalorian outfit, right? So and it's not until we learn more in the Mandalorian about the outfits and that kind of meaning behind having a proper set of armor versus you're building and you're trying to almost scrounge together enough to have that perfect impervious armor.
Yep.
So, and then of course, what I think not a lot of people, of course, know if you don't do a little bit of digging is, of course, Beskar is it's impenetrable to a lightsaber. Now,
Yes.
that I thought is super cool. Like you look at a lot of the Mandalorian armor, there's gaps everywhere. But I mean, I think it's kind of like when you look at like the Superman or the Batman logo, you've got this center chest plate, right? That's where everybody aims for. Why? I don't know. It's there. So that's right. And then of course, normally people would say like, shoot him in the face then. But of course, now you've got a perfect helmet with like a tiny little gap that you got to try to get in between. So, and I don't know, when it comes to the Mandalorian armor, of course, you've got a visor. What is that visor in the Star Wars universe? Like, is it impact resistant? Like, what prevents someone? Because you'd never hear of anybody getting shot in the face with the Mandalorian armor.
No, you don't. Oh my goodness. I would hope that if someone's pointing a blaster at my face, we have our bracers. I'd hope that I would put one out to block that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so if I had to guess, oh my goodness, I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's basically, it's like a clear, oh my goodness, this is going to bug me now. I'm trying to think of the name. It's basically like a clear material. That's it's like a clear material, but it's really strong. Like, oh my God, sorry, I'm not going to be able to think of the name on the spot, but
if it comes up as we're going, it might pop into your head. So
sounds good.
Yeah. Just noticing from Owen here, just got the Boba Fett prototype Black Series helmet. Very, very cool. How does he make it Mando Merc legal? Now, I did a little looking into this. I see a lot of people, that's a very big question. I know the first thing, and probably the only thing I can suggest, is you have to fill in the Boba Fett bullet hole or the dent. The first thing
you do. Yeah. So I mean, you can absolutely make that work. The best thing to do, honestly, is go onto the forums, and you can there's like a builder section, you can ask there. But what I know for sure is, for example, the visor itself, I don't think is dark enough. So for example, you shouldn't be able to see someone's face through the visor. Also, filling in the Boba dent, unless you're actually going for a Boba build, you're not actually allowed to have that dent in your bucket.
Right.
And then filling any seams and filling in any like any screw holes or anything like that will have to be covered.
That was the other thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you can make it work. It's just a matter of kind of like modding it a little bit. I think I have mine right behind me. Yeah, I actually have the Black Series one right behind me. Oh, I have so many helmets up there. I think I have total 13 helmets.
Wow, 13 helmets. Have you built all of these?
Oh no, like a lot of them are Black Series. So I have two clones. One of them is wrecked. Oh goodness, I'm just gonna do this. Okay.
Yeah, just take us on a tour.
There we go. Okay, so I have my dirty place. So I have my clones. I have my Poe helmet. I have my white. I'm just gonna stand up. There we go. Oh no, there we go. My prototype Boba Fett. That one right there, the Night Owl. That's actually for my second kit. I have a Darth Vader, my Boba Fett, and my Stormtrooper. So then I also have my Mandalorian. I have my TIE pilot. I have a Kylo Ren in the other room. And then I also actually have a couple Power Ranger helmets. Not Star Wars, but definitely, like, I'm a big Power Rangers fan. So
big helmet fan.
I
think I'm gonna go out and build like one of those Lord helmet from Spaceball ones, just for fun.
I've seen people do that at conventions, do that cosplay. I love it. I always have to go get photos with them. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really cool. So hopefully that answers your question there, Owen. I know that there are a very big set of rules, but you can use it. Now, you'd mentioned if you're doing a Boba Fett build. Now, it's my understanding there can be only one per region, though. So if you're trying to be a Boba Fett, you got to be in there before someone else decides to be Boba Fett.
So actually, I think BC 501st, we have, let me think. I think we have, oh my goodness, at least 3. I know we have 3. We have one that lives on Vancouver Island, one that lives in the lower mainland, and one that lives up north. And I feel like there might be a 4th, and I am so sorry to Whoever I'm missing, I can't remember. You know what? I think there's one in the interior BC as well. I think we actually have 3 to 4 Boba Fett's here. I mean, so obviously at a convention, we're not going to have them all out at once because that kind of ruins the magic of it. But yeah, same thing with Chewie. Same thing with Darth Vader. We actually have a couple Darth Vaders. We have a couple Chewbacca's. I mean, the nice thing about that is that it gives people breaks because wearing Chewie, wearing Darth Vader, they get real toasty. Like I've definitely seen my friends. I have a couple friends as Chewie dress up, and they actually have. I think one of them has like a vest that has all these tubes running along it with water in it to keep them cool. So I mean. Yeah, you can't do that for very long. Actually, one of our members of the Outer Rim Garrison has, or I guess it wouldn't technically be the 501st. It would be Rebel Legion, I believe. Has a Kaminoan. It's amazing, but at the same time, he can only wear it for so long because I mean, this piece just goes over top of his head and this elongated neck. Like it's hard to wear for a long time. So, it's actually a good thing that we have multiple.
It's true. Now, I find it really interesting. So, I mean, it does sound like, with 3 or 4 Boba Fett's, it's kind of more like, like the 501st might have one, and the Mandalorian Mercs might have one. So it's like it still kind of sounds like there might only be one, but it's because you have so many different groups of different, like you'd said, like there's the Rebel Legion or the Rebel Alliance. Yeah, you've all got, maybe they all have their own.
Well, so actually, Boba Fett counts as 2 different, as far as I know, 2 different clubs. So my partner has 3 Mandalorian costumes, and one of them is Boba Fett, and so he's part of he's actually from Washington, so he's part of the 501st there, and he's also part of the Mandalorian Mercs with his Boba Fett. Like they'll allow multiples of each character. It's just that on the convention floor, they can only put one out at a time.
Okay, so as you'd mentioned early in the show, there's a lot of coordination in there. Like you obviously coordinate efforts, especially for something like that, to ensure that you don't have the same kind of character showing up at a show. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anytime, Owen. That's good to hear. So. Okay, let's see. Where are we at on time here? I think we're doing sort of pretty good. Why don't we talk about the tech bench? We're going to kind of change things over. We're going to do tech bench, and again, we're talking about today's sponsors. We want to super thank CR Sabers and of course the Blue Bulls Outer Rim Saber parts. And they have, of course, today I've got a little special thing here that has been brought to you by Blue Bull's Outer Rim Saber parts. Now, one thing as a Star Wars fan, as a lover, as a child, you always dream of building that perfect saber that is just yours. It was just something you put together that you're thinking, oh, can this happen? Now, with the Disney's, new events, or what do they call that? The Disney's Galaxy's Edge. That's the word I'm looking for. Galaxy's Edge, you of course can build a lightsaber, but there's still very limited parts. I think there's only 6 different styles of sabers you can build. Now, with Blue Bull's Outer Rim Saber parts, you can create unlimited combinations. There are so many. So when we were chatting, Zach from Blue Bull's Outer Rim Saber Shop had said, hey, go online and take a peek and try to put something together that you like. And I have never had a more stressful few days of my life, because no matter how many times I thought, oh, hey, this is going to look good together, this will look good together, as you're putting things together, you're just like, no, this will look better. No, wait, this will look better. And then you're trying to get the right color combinations. You're trying to do all these different things. So it is literally like the sky is the limit when it comes to these stores. And there are so many things. So I'm going to show my saber right now, and hopefully it doesn't get a little too crazy with the camera, but it is a big saber.
Wow.
So it's it's a little larger, and in fact, when I originally built this, it was even bigger than this. And this is almost basically a 2-handed saber. It is absolutely massive. I wanted to go with something a little bit rough, but also at the same time elegant with the gold and the silver. So I'm gonna start this up, and I'm going to fire this up because one of the coolest things I love about this is it has an exposed crystal chamber.
Nice.
And of course, I got a kind of the cage on the other side of it. So when you hold it down the middle, it's kind of like a split half and a half. So it's a little busted, but at the same time, very elegant. Great sound, great speaker. I also have, and this is going to be really hard to pick up in the camera, of course, because it's so bright. But let me just turn this down here. So there is a very elegant blade plug in here. And when this lights up, it is just amazing. Like, so if you want to put this on a stand as a showpiece and you don't want to have the blade hanging out, this blade plug is just phenomenal, and it really makes it look like this is maybe what would be down the emitter of a lightsaber when it's not working, and the light would come out around it. So it is very, very cool. Again, the crystal chamber, so the exposed crystal chamber, the crystal will change whatever color you'd like. So I'll kind of set that on a cycle so people can see, but
Ooh.
yeah. So as the chamber, or as you change your colors, your crystal will change also at the same. There we go. Same as the light in the emitter up here at the top. So that was super cool. Really, really love this. I really love the fact that this is a little bit bigger, a little beefier when it comes to sabers, because I always thought that as much as that one-handed lightsaber is quite cool, I do like the idea of something that's a little bit more like Claymore style.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
So I've got a little bit of an emitter that's very similar to an Obi-Wan Kenobi. I got that crystal chamber down here. The pommel and the grip is a little bit, of course, a little bit different. It's very, very shiny. I was actually very surprised the way the camera is picking it up, but it's a really beautiful, and of course it's got the belt wheel, which again I really like over the clip, because when you lock it into your belt clip, it looks just really cool, like it's hanging from your side. So again, thank you very much, Blue Bull and the Blue Bull's Outer Rim Saber shop. All unlimited combinations. Make sure there's a website actually that's kind of going by the ticker tape for both CR Sabers and the Outer Rim Saber shop to check out and try to build your own custom saber. And it's just absolutely amazing. This is a baselit model, and it's got that smooth swing. It's got 9 different sound fonts, and it's kind of great if you you can do stable, unstable, flicker. So there's lots of different things you can do, and just go and try to build that perfect saber for you. So definitely check them out. Super love them. I can't wait to do a little bit of a duel with this now that I've got this one and we got the other saber from CR Sabers. So thank you very much. Now you have also a saber that we're going to talk about here, and you need something like that in the UK. Well, you know what? Connect with them. They might ship, Owen. There's no excuse. We can definitely find someone that can get you these pieces. So an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. It's true. Not as clumsy as a blaster, clumsy or random as a blaster. Yes. I love that. All right, Jen. So it's my understanding, of course, you have a wonderful saber that I'm really looking forward to talking to you about.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm really excited about it. So first of all, I'm a huge Ahsoka fan. So I started watching the Clone Wars, I think back when it was on season 2 or 3 when I first got into it. So, Oh my goodness, when was that? Was that like late, 2008, 2010? I don't know.
Like that,
anyways,
yeah.
Oh my God, that was like a decade ago. Okay. Yeah. So I've been a huge Ahsoka fan since the Clone Wars. And my very first Star Wars tattoos that I got were Ahsoka's lightsabers. Originally, I was going to get her lightsaber and her Shoto, but I decided I wanted something a little bit more matchy-matchy on both arms. Yep. So I did end up going with her lightsaber. Now, cool. I happened to be at an event where my friend from CR Sabers, he has a booth every time we do these events together. So I'll be there with the Mercs with the 501st, and he has a CR Sabers booth. And then one day he brought this beautiful, beautiful shiny piece that, I think I had seen it about 3 times before finally I was like, no, I need this in my life. So look at this. Oh, there we go.
It is.
Oh my God. It's so, it's
so shiny.
So shiny. I can't even handle this. Like, there's actually a photo, the very first event that CR Sabers brought this to. as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, well, I need a photo with it. So then I think it's just me standing there, holding the lightsaber with this, with my tattoo above it. But I'm just absolutely stoked by this. So I'll be honest, I just actually got this morning. This is brand new to me. I'm
that was
so
perfect
excited.
timing. Wonderful.
Yeah. So I had to charge it. So I only had a little bit of time to play around with it. But some of the things, so Chris actually delivered it to me. So he delivered it to me because I was just so excited about this. And so he did have a chance to go over a little bit with me. So I charged it, had a chance to play around with it a bit. Turn it on, swung it around, of course. But one of the things that was really exciting was to get the different voices, the different what you do is you hold it down. And the very first thing that my lightsaber said was, "Hello there." I can't do the accent very well. And I started just, oh my God, I was like screaming. Like that's
Yeah.
it's a very iconic line. It made me so happy. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so glad that we weren't on camera when that was happening, because that would have been embarrassing. But it made me so happy. So basically you just hold down the let me see what it'll
General, to me she's royalty.
Oh, it's amazing. And then sorry, it's loud, but anyways, I haven't had too much of a chance to play around with it yet, so I'm still learning. Chris goes, so CR Sabers is at a lot of these events, and whenever I'm there, of course, I'm always hovering over the booth. As are a lot of people, actually. And so, I'm always like hovering. I'm like, okay, how many colors does it have? And so he's like, all the colors. He actually brought me all the colors. He brought me, he has this prototype. It's absolutely stunning. I don't know if I'm really allowed to talk about it, but he's brought it to the last 2 shows to kind of show it off. And so he turns it on today, and it's just like rainbow colors going up the blade. And I was like, oh my God, yes, please. That's amazing. So, anyways, I'm so excited. It's sitting next to me, and I keep looking over it. I'm like, I just want to go and play around and swing around a saber, because I feel like that's one of the things that, that's what we do. We see like a lightsaber, and we want to go duel with it. Like right now, if we were in person, I'd be like, hey, let's put a pop. Let's
let's just leave the camera outside and let's just do this right now. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing. Chris, yes, all the colors. And you can talk about the prototype. Fantastic. Good. It's great. It's great when even our sponsors jump in to listen, and this is great. Here's Chris from CR Sabers themselves. Again, with CR Sabers, when our sponsors jump in, they're proud of their products. You know that you can count on them, and you're not buying something haphazardly on or potential garbage online. And it's something we wouldn't do as well. We're not going to try to partner up with someone who doesn't have a good quality product. We're super happy with all the products that, of course, come out of Blue Bulls and CR Sabers. They're really rugged. They are all battle ready, which is fantastic. I'm super excited for that. Do you know if yours is a baselit or a NeoPixel style?
Well, Chris could probably answer this. Let's see if he's listening in.
Yep. Got to fire it up with the blade, he's saying. Got to put the blade in it.
Oh, okay. So the thing is, I was going to actually before this, but the problem is I wasn't too sure if I was going to be on my phone or my laptop, and I kind of have a really small space here. I mean, let's see. I have the blade behind me. Let's I don't know how much you can see because I am.
Never fought anyone like me.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yours is a Profi Pixel, he says.
Oh, did he answer that? Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out things still. Still playing with it.
Okay. Have you got a battle? Have you got like one of the hollow tubes or the solid tubes for your blade?
This one is
okay, so that is the Pixel blade. Yep. So
I'm so excited.
It's amazing. And again, this is to nerd out a little bit about sabers. Now, I have one of the Disney Pixel blades. I do love it. I think it's super beautiful. However, it's not a battle ready saber, and it's so hard to have a beautiful showpiece not swinging around. Everybody says, well, yeah, can I swing it? And you're like, oh, you're just cringing because you're thinking, are they going to swing it at something? Are they going to hit something? But Exactly. So, I'm really, really happy that with the base lit kits, not only do they look good and they're really, really bright, actually a lot brighter than I had thought they would be, but the fact that they're battle ready, and now to know that the NeoPixels as well, they've really improved the products and behind them, and the fact that you can still be battle ready with them as well. So,
Oh yeah,
super, super exciting.
I was gonna say at events that CR Sabers is at, he'll set up sabers for kids to play around with.
Oh, he's saying to push the blade down a little bit more.
Oh, that's what I was doing. Okay, thank you. I'm still learning. But yeah, no, it's really good because he'll actually, he has a couple of his lightsabers ready to play with. And, I'll be at the Star Wars booth and I look over and there are kids that are battling each other. He's put them in the hands of like 8-year-olds and they are battling each other. And you're just like, oh my God, you're putting a lot of trust into these lightsabers, but that's how
right.
strong they are. They're great.
Oh, and you're very sure of your product when you put it in the hand of an 8-year-old, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, and they'll just
Exactly.
sit there whacking at each other and just, they're great.
Exactly. Okay, now while I talk for a little bit, you need to try to put that blade in and ignite it because I really want people to see what that coffee looks like. It's very,
I really
impressive.
done this before, but
yeah. And then of course the question is, as an Ahsoka fan, would you go with a white blade? Would you do the blue blade? What color of blade would you go with?
green.
You're a green. Okay, excellent. You know what?
I'd go original.
Yep. So I really like the green blade. In fact, ever since Return of the Jedi, when the green blade came out, I was a really, really big fan. And oh wow! So look at that. Look how bright that is.
Oh my God. Okay, wow, that's amazing. Actually, I love this color. I changed my mind. This is the color I'm going with.
Purple, eh? You know what? The purple is really, really bright. I mean, you should see from here on. Look on the camera. Like, look at the halo of light that's just coming from it because it's so bright.
Oh my God.
Like if you put your hand up on the blade and block out a section, like look at that. Like you just see the radiance of light that's coming off this.
Okay, yeah. I'm even more excited. Like seriously, let's go lightsaber fight right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, wow. I'm like so giddy right now. I'm sorry.
That is the epic moment, right? Like it's your inner child just explodes the moment you fire one of these up. And it's so funny because like my wife does not understand my fascination, A, with Star Wars, but B, the moment the lightsaber got in my hand and she just rolls her eyes as I'm like, turning it and swinging it. And I'm just like, this is like yeah, it's like an extension of your arm the moment it's in your hand and you're thinking, how have I gone life without one of these? Like, I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that she would kill me, I would probably just walk around with one of these on my belts 24/7. Like,
for that. Like, what are we allowed to?
Right. I don't think there's anything against it. It's not like there's like, anything harm coming from that. So I mean,
I think what are the rules in British Columbia about having a lightsaber hilt on your belt? Because like friends, just a heads up, when we hang out in the future, this is going to be on my belt. Just letting you know. Right. The great thing too is that my partner is just as into Star Wars as I am. So he wouldn't even give it a thought. He would just be like, yeah, okay, let's do this.
Now he's going to be like, well, where's mine?
Right. That's perfect. Hey, Chris, by the way, no, he's actually going to be visiting soon. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get him to check out some lightsabers online and pick something up while he's here. So.
Well, so we've got more to show in shows to come, but Blue Bulls had sent us a couple of different sabers. This, of course, was my own personal build. And the moment my 7-year-old daughter saw this, her face just beamed. She thought I had gotten one for her. And I didn't know how to tell her because of my kids. So it was really funny because my eldest, when she was super young, she had an Anakin Skywalker lightsaber, and she had her Padawan braid, and she was super excited with it. Now my youngest, of course, is super excited, and it was the Mandalorian that got her into Star Wars. She, of course, loved Baby Yoda, but she really loves the Mandalorian, and of course, she can't wait for the fall for the new ones to come out. And now that she knows that lightsabers are out there, she's desperate for a lightsaber. So I'm gonna have to try to build one for her that might be a little bit custom, and I know she would be out in the yard doing full duels with me. So that'll be
good. Yes, you're gonna have a dueling partner.
Yes, exactly. So amazing. So yes, the Ahsoka Tano, what a beautiful lightsaber. It really, really stands out. I love that split with the gap up the middle. It makes it very, very unique,
Oh,
which is so cool. And
right.
clearly your tattoo artist did a wonderful job because they just look exactly the same. So
Oh, he did amazing. I mean, that I think it was about 3 hours per tattoo.
wow. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, he took
You know,
his
you had
time.
to be happy with the first one when you decided to go, yes, I need a pair.
Well, I originally decided, actually, oh my goodness. Okay, so originally what I wanted to do was I was actually considering doing Ahsoka on one side and Asajj Ventress on the other, because Asajj Ventress is also one of my favorite characters. And
Okay.
then I just thought, I was like, you know what? I just want it to be very symmetrical. So yeah, I
Very,
just
very
decided to
cool.
go with both of them. Yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll get Asajj Ventress lightsaber on my leg or something. Like, I don't know, where do I have room? There we go, on the inside of
On the
my
inside.
Star Wars arm here. There we go. Oh
Cool.
yeah, my Mythosaur. Yeah.
Love it.
Maybe it'll go next to it or something, but yeah.
So a little surprise, we haven't really mentioned it to anybody, but if you are a big fan of Ventress, in the future, I've been in the talks with the voice over artist, of course, who plays Ventress, and it looks like she will be joining us on the show in the future. So make sure you tune in, and who knows, maybe we can bring you back so that you can say hi. When
Oh my God, I'm just gonna fangirl the whole time.
yeah. So we've been very, very fortunate to, of course, to be in touch with a lot of the actors from, of course, the new universe and kind of the old ones. But yes, Chris, yes, way, we are going to have Ventress on the show. We're just trying to work out because her schedule is extremely busy right now. But her manager's got me reaching out towards the end of this month. So in any moment now, hopefully we'll be able to hammer down a date to get her on the show. I'm really, really excited about that. Not only is it really cool to get a lot of the heroes of the shows, but you don't get a lot of villains, right? And that's something I super like, because it's really funny. My youngest is a huge fan of villains. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Disney villains of any sort, she always seems to gravitate towards the villains for some reason. So I keep my wife and I have always said, if you're going to be a criminal, make sure you're a super criminal and you take care of mom and dad. So we'll
yeah, I mean, it's only fair.
Exactly, right? I mean, if you're going to do it, go way to the dark side and make sure that you never get caught.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our tech bench. Now there's maybe a good moment that I'd like to talk about something that we've got another giveaway that is going to be coming up here on the show. I'm going to be bringing, you know what, why don't we talk about it right now? How about? So this is not something super new, it's something older, but it's something from my personal collection that I really, really love. But it literally sits in this box, and I'm gonna give this away to a lucky viewer. So hopefully, and in the next week we'll share this out. I'm gonna take a second here to step away from the mic to grab it, because it's a rather big box, and hopefully I can share the camera at the same time. But this is a Propel Advanced TIE Fighter 1. And let me just bring it around here. So again, this is from my own personal collection that I am giving away. What I love about this, just opening the box, fully lights up. So it plays clips from the movie.
Wow.
The other thing is,
We meet again at last.
yeah, listen to that.
The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Only a master reveals God.
So, and then of course, every time that you close a box and reopen it, it'll play another clip. So it'll do the Imperial March. It'll do everything. It's rather loud, so I'm going to close it for now. This is remote controlled. It's I don't know if it was by Air Hogs or who actually created this one. Oh no, it's Propel. So this is remote controlled, but this is the coolest remote controlled TIE fighter I have ever seen in my life. There is an augmented reality, so you can connect it to your phone. You can fly it. You can do targeting practice offline to get used to controls. And then, of course, launch, pitch, roll. It'll flip. It'll do everything you kind of want, as well as the TIE Fighter has full lights and blasters. If you get two of them, if you're lucky enough to find another one out there, you can actually dogfight against each other. And if you shoot your partner or your opponent 3 times, their ship will crash. So it's a very interactive, controlled. I mean, this thing is massive. It's quite heavy. You should see the controller. The controller is about like this big. And it plays all the Star Wars sounds when you fire up. The engines fire up when you launch it. Like, it has everything. It even has a launch assist, so you can have a 1-button assist where it'll launch and stabilize in the air. And when your batteries are low, it'll even report it as if it's a stormtrooper saying, we can see, sir, that your batteries are running low. Please return to base and to reload. So it's really cool. So we're going to be giving this away in a week's time. So make sure we share it all out, like our page, invite your friends. We'll post up about the contest. So it's open to anybody, and we will send this off to you. So hopefully we're enjoying things, and we'll get into the contest. Our last winner, of course, was of the Armorer, because we had Emily Swallows from as the Armorer from the Mandalorian on the show, and Mike had won that one, and we're getting that out to him now so that, of course, he can add that to his collection. And we've got a lot more giveaways that are coming up on the show over the next few months. That's right. We're going to be leading right into December, and we're going to make a fantastic Christmas for one person out there. Well, maybe 2. We'll see. We'll see how things are going to go. But the lightsabers that are coming in, minus mine, will be out there that we will be giving away as the year goes on. So you're looking to pick up lightsabers. I know it is very tough, especially when it gets into Christmas time, because these are very quality, good looking products. So they do come with a price tag. If you are looking to make sure that you maybe get a chance at getting your hands on one of those sabers for yourself or your kids, continue to follow the show, and there will be a good chance that you can win one of those. That's my spiel for now.
Cool. Okay, I'm gonna have to bug all my friends to get in on this.
That's right. Get on in there. This is this control, the remote control TIE Fighter alone is super, super fun, super cool. But you can have hours and hours of playing with it and annoying your family. So let's get back to you. Of course, we got a little bit more time left on the clock, and I do have some questions. So of all our guests, we have some what we call our slightly slower than average rapid fire questions, where we're going to ask you 20 quick questions, and of course you just have to give us kind of the first thing that comes to your mind. There is no right or wrong answers on these. It's just a little bit to get to know yourself a little bit more.
Sounds good.
First question: what made up word would you register into the English language?
Oh my God, why can't I think? Shebs.
Shebs. All right. Do you have a definition for shebs?
But.
But. Okay. All right. Nice shebs. Okay. Yep. It works.
The first thing comes to mind is like the bad words.
Okay. Yep. Hey, you got to watch out, right? In a profession where you're working and stuff, you got to be able to let people know how you're feeling about things, but not insulting the children. So,
exactly.
What is the scariest dream you've ever had?
Anything involving killer whales. So I'm actually deathly afraid of killer whales. Just even seeing a photo of them, commercial, show, anything, I get into a major panic attack. So any dream would involve the killer whale. Is
there like a scientific term for that?
There's a fear of just whales in general. I can't remember what it is, but it's just, whales in general. But for me, it's killer whales. I'm okay with great white sharks, any other whale, but killer whales, I cannot. I can't even look at them. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. Yeah. What superpower do you wish you could have?
Oh, teleportation.
Okay, that's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, and nobody ever picks mine, but teleportation is also super cool. I really like that one. I guess I'm the only person who thinks super speed is like the Flash is the best power. I don't know.
like there's a lot of good ones out there, but I think at this very moment, I think because my partner lives in a different state, in a different country, it would just be really nice to be like, hey, let's hang out this weekend. Let's go watch Star Wars.
Yeah.
And just transport over there.
Yeah, it's true. But even with super speeds, right? I mean, I don't see any border control that's going to be able to stop someone going like Mach 5, you know?
No, you're right. You're right. Okay, when you put it that way, yeah.
And the best part is, I mean, if you think of like Barry Allen from The Flash, I mean, the man slows down time basically because he's moving so fast. So it's it just keeps on going. But anyways, I digress. What makes you happiest?
Being dressed as a Star Wars at an event, taking pictures with people, just seeing the smile on people's faces when they see me dressed like a Star Wars.
Very cool. Excellent. Next question is, what foreign language would you most likely like to learn?
Japanese.
Japanese.
I tried learning it for a little while, and I kind of got lazy. So I remember some things, but
okay, it's I think it's a great language. You know, I think not only there's so much history and culture behind it, but it's absolutely fantastic. And I'm always super happy when, of course, I see the stats and our shows in Japan and China, and that always makes me super happy. So yeah, very good. Okay, what is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh my goodness. Actually, it would honestly be when my family and I first moved to Los Angeles. I remember being on the escalator at the airport. I think I was about 4 years old. Okay. I just remember being in the airport and heading, I think, up the escalator or down the escalator, and heading to our new house.
Very cool. Very cool. LA, nice. How did you end up in Canada after that?
Well, I was born in Ottawa. So I was born in Ottawa, and then my mom moved my sister and I. Actually, Jen Cleroux, she's the one that I think she just sent. What did she send? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
I'm thinking that's like a flex. Maybe she likes super strength.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's actually my twin sister. She's actually part of the mix as well. And cool. My mom moved us over there when we were quite young. We were about 4, and then we moved back to Canada, to Victoria, I think when we were about 9 or 10.
Okay.
So yeah.
I'm from the Ottawa Valley as well. I grew up on the Air Force Base there, and it's always really cool, especially when I get to go back to the Comic-Con there, because it's right across from the base where I used to live as a kid. So it's really
fantastic. Yeah.
All right. What okay. If you could live in any decade, which one would you choose?
Oh man. Could I say a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away?
Why not? Yeah.
Honestly, I'm happy with the decade I'm in. I mean, things are kind of crazy right now, not gonna lie, but honestly, like, it's just really neat seeing how technology is moving forward now. So I don't know if I'd want to go back. I mean, for music, I would definitely go back to the 80s.
80s,
but
yeah.
But then, it was good. Yeah, it was real good. But honestly, I'm stoked about the decade that I'm in now. I mean, unless I could go into a different universe, the Star Wars universe, long time ago, then I would absolutely, in a heartbeat, I would go there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Have you seen the new hotel they're making down in Florida? I think it is, that's all Star Wars. And
I mean, I see the price tag on it.
Yeah, no, I haven't even looked at the price tag because I feel like I'm going to be like, shut up and take my money. Like, I don't care. I mean, the fact that you can go and live a Star Wars life for a week where you get to dress in your robes or your costume or whatever you want to do, you interact. There's like duels in the halls of like things that are happening. And then on top of that, they've got the new lightsaber that's coming out that'll be launched at the same time, where it's got its own spools and it fully extends and retracts on its own.
That was pretty mental to see that.
Yeah, that blew my mind. So I was like, the dream come true. Actually, it's really funny about at least if you went back to the 80s, you could watch Star Wars coming out in theater. So
that would actually be really cool. Actually, no, speaking of, I think it was right before episode 1 came out, they did a re-release. They released all the originals in theater again. And so it was my stepdad that actually got to take my sister and I to go see, I believe we saw Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually got to see that in theaters. I think it was just before, it was like late 90s. I think. Yeah, because they were trying to get people hyped on episode 1. So
That's right. Yep.
decided to re-release the original. So I can say that I have seen one of the originals in theater. Just, I mean, quite a while later.
The original one. So
yeah, I know, I'm
the original Empire Strikes Back.
Super jealous.
Yeah, it was something else. I mean, even as a child, I think I remember that initial opening sequence coming on, and it was really cool. Back when you used to have to stand at attention before a movie, and also take off hats because there's the national anthem and everything. So there was a lot going on back then.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, you had to do that in theaters. So that's how old I am. All right. What was the first movie that ever made you cry?
Oh geez. I mean, just off the top of my head, Armageddon.
Yeah, that was a real tearjerker at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just rewatched it again recently with my partner, and I cried again.
Yeah.
Just at the very end. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Do you believe in aliens?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? We have not had a chance to explore space as much as we potentially can. So
it's true.
Absolutely. Why not?
Can't be the only ones out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. How would you spend $100 million?
Oh man, I would honestly, I would donate a big chunk of it. Not gonna lie, BC Children's Hospital, Connect Place Hospice, Community. There are so many different charities that I would donate that money to, and then also I would split the money among a lot of my friends and family. Because one person doesn't need that much money. Like if I can make a whole lot of people's lives a lot easier, why wouldn't I?
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Yeah,
Very good answer. I like that one. I don't know why it is. Like I feel the same things, but like the first thing that pops into my mind when someone says that is like lavishly. I would just spend it all very, very lavishly. But yeah, no, there's a lot of amazing charities out there that could, of course, totally use a little bit of that money. And
exactly.
So yes, indeed. We got another hello. Hi, Kristen.
Oh yeah, so this is my twin sister.
Oh, very nice. Thanks for joining us on the show. Okay, so what was the last if Peter wouldn't get on your case, what exotic animal would you domesticate?
Oh my goodness. I would love a lemur.
Lemurs, yeah, I think they're super cute, right? It's almost like getting all the funness of a monkey mixed in with a cat.
Exactly. Like I love cats. I have one, and yeah, even when I was younger, I used to love them. Actually, I think it was my sister that got me a lemur beanie baby for my birthday, like years ago. I know that's
exactly which one you're talking about. That's sad. My kids love beanie babies. Yeah.
No, I still have it. It's kicking around somewhere, but I would totally love to have a lemur.
That's very cool. Yep. I like that. And it didn't, of course, it always helped with King Julian always made the lemurs even cooler. So, all right. What gets on your nerves?
People who are rude and inconsiderate, people who are fake, people who chew with their mouth open.
Yeah, that's a I never really thought much of it as a kid, but as an adult, it's like the worst.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. What is the last thing you did just for yourself?
Oh my goodness. I bought myself a lightsaber.
Yes.
That was a pretty awesome thing.
Yep. Okay, here's an older question. We haven't done this one in a while. What holiday would you erase from the calendar if you could?
Oh, geez. I mean, I really don't think there would be any that I would erase. Okay, so Thanksgiving is a great time to eat a lot of food with my family. Christmas is a great time to eat a lot of food with my family. Sure. I love Halloween. You know what? I would say Valentine's Day, if anything.
Valentine's Day.
I feel like it's overrated. It's overrated. I mean, the one thing I like about Valentine's Day is the day after when you can get cheap chocolate. That's the only thing that's good about Valentine's Day.
Yeah, he loves that. And Halloween and Christmas. Always the days after, the best time to clean up on all the chocolate you can.
Absolutely.
Right? All the love that was left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true. With Valentine's Day, I feel like if you love someone, you tell them every day. You don't need a holiday out there to turn around and say you don't love me because you didn't get me something or take me something.
Exactly. There's way too much pressure, and I feel bad that it
Yeah.
shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Okay. What do you do when you can't fall asleep?
Oh man, I scroll social media. Honestly, I look
Does it? Yeah.
yeah, you know those lists where it's just like you won't believe this thing happened. I'm like, cool, like let's see what you got. And I
Yeah.
find that those lists actually bore me to tears, and then it helps me fall asleep.
You know, one of the things I've seen relatively recently is like you'll see a post that says, "Hey, remember this celebrity as a kid? Look what they look like today." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm curious." And then you go through all the list, and it's like the last one, and it's like
Yeah.
you had to scroll next, and you have to do it like 40 times, and then you get to them, and then it's like nothing. It's like they look the same or they look fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it! I was hoping they were a train wreck.
Okay, so I have a rule about those lists. If I have to press next, then I'm not interested.
Yeah,
It has
yeah.
to be one that you just sit there and just scroll and scroll and scroll, and then your phone takes a little while to catch up, and then scroll. That's my rule. Like
100%. Yeah, I don't fall into that anymore. I used to a lot, and yeah, now it's just like if I have to do it more than twice, like no. So yeah, it's good that you cut off at next. So,
that's my rule. Shouldn't.
Yeah. What activity makes you totally lose track of time?
Video games.
Video games. Are you a console or a PC base?
Console,
Console.
PlayStation. Yeah.
PlayStation. Good choice. So many people are Xbox. You know, it's really funny because I had I mean, I've always kept with PlayStation right from the get-go. I feel like I would kind of insult my childhood if I decided to change over to Xbox. But every time the next console comes around, I'm like, should I switch to the other one? Because inevitably everybody I know is going to be on the other one, and then I just can't do it. And then the PS5 came out, and I just haven't made the leap because I'm just like, I don't get to play as much anymore. I don't know if it's worth it yet. So yeah.
I'm going to finish up my PS4 games before I even think about a PS5, to be totally honest. Yeah, I mean, I don't buy the next console right away. I usually give it a little while because honestly, every time I've got a PlayStation, I usually wait like a year and a half. And then all of a sudden they're selling it, but they're including like multiple games with it.
Yeah.
So I mean, all the Uncharted games I got with my PlayStation because I was able to wait a little bit longer. So yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite series, actually. That was one of those PlayStation exclusives that I really, really liked. And I thought, take that, all the Xbox people. Here's an actual amazing series. It's like the closest thing to Indiana Jones with wit, which was really, really cool. So, yeah, I like that one. I was actually really sad to hear that Nathan Fillion was not going to be playing Nathan Drake in the new movie that they're creating, but I think it's Mark Wahlberg. And
that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it should be Nathan Fillion. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. What's the best thing you've ever eaten?
Oh my goodness. Okay, easy peasy, hands down. When I went to Japan, I kind of had a joke with all my friends that when I went to Japan, I was going to eat ramen every single day that I was there. I mean, not like for every meal, but at least once a day. Yeah. And I mean, the best places, like, I remember there was 5 of us, and we had rented a house in Tokyo. And then one of my friends was like, okay, we're going to go to this like little hole in the wall ramen place. So we go there, and it was perfect. I think I got like extra like garlic in mine because I love garlic. And it was amazing. Like even the cheapest hole in the wall ramen in Japan is still better than a lot of ramen places here. Like
blows Mr. Noodles out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of great places here. Like my favorite is Gojiro downtown because you can get like they just do really good chicken karaage. It probably tastes like the most authentic Japanese. But yeah, definitely ramen from Japan. So I mean, there's not specifically one place, but like I mean, that one that I got that extra garlic was amazing.
Okay,
so,
very, very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Okay. There's another one we haven't done in a long time. Have you ever had a crush on a fictional character, and if so, who?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, I can't really see that I have. Like, because there's nobody that just like that jumps to mind. So I mean,
Like Han Solo came out, and you're like, ooh, Han Solo.
I mean, I would definitely, I'd be like, I want to be your friend. Um, I mean, okay, oh, please don't judge me. So Kylo Ren,
Okay.
I wouldn't say crush. It was more like his just like moody sort of emo attitude. I was like, cool. That reminds me of when I was like a teenager.
Okay.
So I kind of felt like I could relate to him a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know if crush is the right word. It was more like a relatable character. So, oh my God. Yeah.
Your
My
sister's
sister says Kylo
definitely
Ren.
saying Kylo Ren.
Well, I mean, after I saw the first movie, right away I was like, I need to dress up as Kylo Ren. I went to go see that movie 3 times in theater. So the first time was to watch it and just be really excited about it. The second
Yeah.
time was, you go see it a second time just in case you missed anything. The third time was because I needed to find out like exactly what his robes look like.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I remember after watching it the third time, having to go to Toys R Us and like looking for the Black Series, the helmet, which I don't have. Oh, I think that one's in my room. Yeah. So, and then actually I
That
got
one
into
she keeps close and dear.
no, I didn't have enough space on my shelf in here.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, when I first moved into this place, my Kylo Ren helmet was on the shelf, and then middle of the night, I woke up to this really loud sound, and it just doesn't sit properly on that shelf, so it ended up falling onto the floor, and I have tile floors, and it was so loud, and I'm, living on my own, new place. It just scared the crap out of me. I'm like, cool, it lives in there now because it's not going to fall off that shelf.
Did it break?
No, it didn't.
So you didn't have to like put it back together like you do later in the
Oh,
movies.
no, thank goodness. No, I did have another, I actually have, it's a comic, it's a graded comic. It's, the first appearance of Boba Fett on the cover, and it's like a really high grade as well. And that actually hung up as soon as I moved in here. Same idea, woke up in the middle of the night to a loud crash, and it had fallen on the floor. And unfortunately, the corner of it cracked.
Oh, no.
The thing is though, is that these graded comics have like, there's like I think it's like a sealed pouch on the inside, and then the plastic on the outside. So it didn't break through to the comic. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to go grab it. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Okay, we'll keep going through the questions. You might get to
Yeah,
like,
sounds
a little
good.
bit more. Oh my God.
It's
Sorry,
actually really funny.
that's-
Speaking of the Kylo Ren helmet, a lot of people don't realize, like, or some people had said, well, how come in the last movie his helmet just looks so poorly put back together because you can see all the break lines and everything. And I had read somewhere that was actually it takes after like that ancient Chinese technique or Japanese technique of remending helmets, and a lot of people didn't realize that it was actually intentionally made to look like that because they take the breaks and they look at it as like a badge of honor, and by showing the breaks in the helmets and stuff and remending them again. So I thought that was really cool.
Like, I think if you know, and it's really cool. So yeah, so this is my
There you go. Yeah, there's the other bounty, or the other bounty hunters. Yeah.
Yep. Which corner? Oh yeah, no, it's this entire side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And while I'm in here, oh my goodness, I have there's my Ahsoka collection in here.
Oh, very nice.
Oh my goodness. I collect a lot of toys. Yeah, there's my Power Rangers.
Say, have you ever seen Dominic Pace, who plays the Gecko on The Mandalorian?
Yes.
So he has a massive Star Wars collection. In fact, like every toy from like the 80s onward, he's got a huge room. And if you go online, there's a YouTube video where he's a lot younger and he's showing a news reporter his entire Star Wars collection, which is,
Are you serious?
It's mind blowing. It's very, very cool. Yeah.
I have a pretty huge collection. And my last place that I used to live in, I actually had a lot of my figures pinned to the wall, especially the 3.75 inch that have the little hook on the top. Yep. And so, and then I had like, oh my goodness, I have like multiple, like, yeah, I've shelved. I don't actually have everything up. Like I have all my Boba Fett stuff. I have more Boba Fett stuff over here. My other costume as well. Oh my God. I have a lot of toys, but my friends used to come over and they used to say like, oh my, like if, for people who are from Vancouver and who know of toy traders, people used to joke around that my place was like like a mini toy traders, just because I have so many toys.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, I've been collecting for a long time. I mean, I got to say the nice thing about being a fan of Ahsoka for like since before she was really popular
Mhm.
is that, you know, a lot of my Ahsoka toys are ones that I would just find at Toys R Us for $10 or Winners for $12. And so now some of my collection, it's crazy. I look at some of it and some of those toys are going for easily $100 for a
Yeah.
little 3.75-inch figure. But
Yep. I think I saw somewhere on a forum that they had the Black Series Boba Fett on clearance at like a Walmart in the States for like $10. And I'm like, God, that thing's like $70.
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's like, how do I get down to the US right now just to collect something like that?
You have friends that live there that can pick it up for you and ship it to you pretty much. Yeah, no, it's really crazy. Like I mean, that's the thing about collecting Star Wars toys is I never started collecting them with the intention of, you know, waiting for it to go up in price and selling it. Like I would never do that. Like Ahsoka is, I mean, I have her lightsabers tattooed on me. So
Yeah.
the plan was never to buy all this Ahsoka stuff and hope she became popular. It's just oh my goodness. So the Clone Wars end of season five. Yeah, that's right. Because 6 was straight to Netflix. Was not a huge fan of that. 7 was actually decent, but the end of season 5, when she leaves the Jedi. Oh my goodness, words. Yeah, when she decides to leave, I mean, that's something I cry at every single time I watch that as well. So, you know, when she left, I was like, oh my God, she's, you know, I hope she's okay after Order 66. And, you know, my friend always used to bug me like, oh yeah, no, Ahsoka's going to die. And I used to joke around like, oh, you know, hashtag Ahsoka lives. So when I got to meet Ashley Eckstein at Emerald City one year, I've actually dressed as Ahsoka 3 times now.
Okay.
And so I had actually retired that costume. And then when I found out that she was going to be there, I was like, well, obviously I got to bring it out again. And so when I got to meet her, I actually got her to sign one of my pictures with hashtag Ahsoka lives. And and it was actually after that Rebels came out, and then all of a sudden we have Ahsoka back, and it was crazy. I was so excited, and that's actually when I saw her price going up because people are like, "Who is this Ahsoka character?" People who didn't watch Clone Wars but were getting into Rebels, like there are fan pages on Facebook, like with about her. It's pretty exciting. I love how popular she's become.
So you were at least happy with Rosario Dawson's portrayal of Ahsoka?
Absolutely. I was one of those people that were really, really hoping that it was going to be Rosario Dawson. Like I was on that bandwagon. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's always funny because whenever they want an iconic character, it's always like, call it Rosario. And you're wondering if she'll actually do it or not.
Right.
So,
no. I'm so glad. She looks like Ahsoka. Like she looks like Ahsoka. She did such a great job. And then just watching the behind the scenes as well with her just kind of playing around. I mean, she just did there were certain gestures that she would do during the episode, certain things she would say, certain faces she would make. I'm like, that's Ahsoka, like 100%. So
that's very cool. Yeah.
Really
cool. Someone who was probably a fan to begin with, right?
So you could tell she was so into it. Yeah. Apparently she studied that role quite a bit as well. So
well, I mean, I think with the Star Wars universe, if you're a fan of Star Wars and you've been brought in to do a character or something like that, you really want to nail it. Like you really want to impress, right? I mean, I always have like that dream that somehow I will be in the right place at the right time, that someone says, hey, we're going to make you some obscure character in the Star Wars universe and you're going to be in the background. I'll be like, yes, I don't care how long it takes. If it takes a year of my life, I'll be there.
I know it. I don't even care. Like, make me an alien, put me in it for 5 seconds in the background.
That's right. I can die happy.
Yeah. That actually reminds me. So we in our local 501st Outer Rim Garrison, we actually have a couple members. Have you ever heard of the fan film Bucketheads?
I have, yes. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
Oh, okay. So that was actually our local, that was like a lot of the stormtroopers in that were our local 501st Garrison because Marco is one of our stormtroopers. So yeah, it was really cool. And then so since the popularity of that fan film, they've actually been filming episodes as well. So yeah, no, it's really cool. And speaking of getting into like people getting to be in Star Wars movies, like it's fantastic how many of my friends in the 501st have got to be in these episodes or got to be in these movies. One of my good friends, Shannon, she's actually the XO, which is like the second in command of the Outer Rim Garrison here. She's actually helping out so much with the filming and just like she's space mom. So she's like she's like on-set space mom. Yeah, she takes care of us. Yeah, so I think that's just really cool that they get to be a part of this universe because yeah,
that's
that
fantastic.
would be a dream come true.
Yeah, I think for all fans out there, if you're ever a lover of Star Wars, you're hoping to be able to get into that universe somehow. And like I said, you can obscure my face in every possible way. You don't have to see me, but if I know I'm in there, even for a brief second, I can get killed by someone and I'll still be happy. Right?
I know. It could be like killed in the worst possible way, but I don't even care. Actually, just watching it. So I was watching episode 1 last night of season 2 of the behind the scenes, and my partner Joey was watching episode 2. And it's funny because we'd be messaging each other like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting! Like, this is so cool! I can't believe they did this, this, and this." And then it just even watching it, I'm like, I want to get dressed up. Like, I want to, I want to get kitted up right now. Yeah, and he's like, so do I, because like we just get so hyped on these things. And then the best thing too is because like obviously like we live in different countries now, and I'm like, okay, so but like when we live together, can we can we just like dress up and hang out and watch Star Wars? He's like, absolutely. Yeah. Obviously Andrew being in Bucketheads is the coolest. Okay, so that's one of our local Outer Rim Garrison members. So hey Andrew.
Thanks for joining us. That's very cool.
Yeah. So I mean, like I got a partner who is willing to just dress up as a Star Wars and hang out and watch Star Wars.
You know what? If I could dress up as Boba Fett and sit around the house, like I'd do it.
Why not? Exactly.
My wife would hate it, but I would do it. So I need more like-minded people to come into Ontario and hang out and dress up as Star Wars characters with me. So
well, you should probably join one of the costume clubs then.
It might happen. I got a 3D printer. I might, you know what? But again, it would be just like building the lightsaber. I'd be like, oh, what am I going to do? What color scheme would I do? What kind of armor do I want? Like one of like the more heavy troopers? Do I want like the assassin? Do I want the Death Watch helmet? Like what kind of look do I want to go with? Do I want, pre-imperial? Do I want post-imperial? Like, I don't know. There's just so much.
It's a lot. Yeah. Like I'm actually really grateful that when I joined, there wasn't that many options. I mean, so people not everyone had 3D printers. It was like you saw a 3D printer at like a fair, not a fair, like a toy fair or something, or like the maker fair, but not everybody now seems to have 3D printers. Like I didn't get to do that. I didn't have that option. And I do have to say, like at first I was like, oh my God, I wish I could 3D print everything. It just seems so much easier. You don't really have to do as much work. But then when my friends started getting 3D printed stuff and they have to sand it and they have to fill it, I'm like, it's a lot of work. It's different work, but it's still a lot of work. But so mine's pretty basic. It's pretty simple. So there we go. So simple helmet, simple armor. It's a matter of like just adding to it. So like, for example, I have like the binoculars that actually my friend Chris, he goes by Gorilla Army on Instagram. So he's a tattoo artist, but he makes props. Like he actually has some really cool props that he makes. And, when I went to go visit him not long ago, he had these there and I was like, I need those. I need to buy those off of you for my costume. Just adding different bits and pieces. So that's what I like. I like having nice, plain, simple armor and then just adding pieces to it. So adding multiple belts, adding, my rank rope for my Alarad position, but adding pouches, adding, I have a chest diamond there. So that's actually that's actually the colors of my partner's costume. So that's the chest diamond, the heart. So he gave that to me. Cool. So I wear it because nerdy.
That is like sweetness at its nerdiest best. That's amazing.
It was like the sweetest thing when he was like, I'm making you this. I'm like, oh my God, I love it so much. Like that actually made me so happy. Just such a simple gesture, but it's like, it's your iron heart. Like that's what it is to a Mandalorian. So it's a big deal.
It's very, very cool. I'm a bit of a fan of course, props and everything. And I've always, like I said, I made a Star-Lord helmet and I made Star-Lord's guns and all those different things and went very hardcore into that. And then of course, as a huge fan of Star Wars, I decided to make a thermal detonator. And then, of course, I'm like, how can I put sound in this? So then I programmed a board,
Are
and I
you
got
serious?
sound, and you pull back, and then the lights will flash and function. So I'll have to bring that to another episode, but or maybe I'll have to be giving them away. I got a couple that I'm working on to send out to some people, but
I have a resin thermal detonator. I'm not gonna lie, that thing is hefty. One of the other OMs, like official members, gave it to me, but yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's full resin, so it's quite heavy. Definitely can't be cutting that in half to put any soundboards in that. I don't even think you'd hear anything. It would just be like muffled. But
yeah, it's a little muffled. I gotta
3D
figure it
printed?
yeah, I 3D printed, and then of course I programmed some micro Arduino boards. I found a sound file and then cut it down in a music editor, and then tried to find a way of converting it so that it's actually played as a bit. And then it still still sounds like the real thermal detonator when you ignite it. And I was pretty happy with it. It's got like that kind of clickety ticketing sound, and then the lights flash in time with it. And
dang, that looks so
I don't have it with
cool.
me, but I'll have to make sure I'll send you a couple pictures of it and get
Yes,
a video.
please. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm still working on that. I mean, the prototype looks good, but I'm trying to work on kind of chroming it, and then I'm going to weather it, and I'll go from there. So I think the biggest thing for me is I got to try to find good sounding speakers. Like the ones you find in the lightsaber are fantastic. The ones I've been able to find so far, I'm not nearly as happy with. I want something really loud so that, you could be at a con and turn it on and so people would hear it or something. So,
oh my God, that would be amazing.
One of these days. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I got one last question for you.
Yeah.
And that is, what's the favorite podcast you've been on in the last 12 hours?
Obviously this one.
Hey, excellent. We always like to throw that one in. I guess we're kind of rounding our time as much as I can continue talking Star Wars all day long. And of course, I always have more questions. But we might have to save that and have you back for another show. And
I would love that.
And we'll talk more Star Wars again. But in the meantime, I super appreciate you taking some time out of your day and being on the show. And do you have any social medias that you would recommend or post out, or things where people could check out what you're doing? And other than that, any other things that you're interested or passionate about, we can put on your bio page when we put you up on our website.
Yeah, absolutely. So my Instagram is where I post pictures of just all my cosplay, especially as my Mandalorian. So, we've been pretty busy with troops now that things have opened up a little bit more. So that's my cosplay page. We also have the British Columbia Mandalorian page, the Instagram page. That's Wasseron Clan. So I'll probably have to spell that one out for you. There's an apostrophe in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the main ones that I'm going to suggest. I'd also give Outer Rim Garrison a follow on Instagram, because you'll see some really cool people on there. And I mean, there's a lot of really great social media out there right now. Check out Bucketheads if you get a chance to. The fact that it's made by a local Canadian, we actually have local 501st in that. That's really cool. Like, I'm just so proud of our garrison here. So. Yeah. And then, mine is, it's Scariest.Catra. So for Instagram, that's CIRYC.CATRA. Sorry, it's kind of confusing. It's Mandalorian. It means cold night sky. Okay. Because my costume is, I like to say that it's like galaxy colors, and it actually matches my galaxy tattoo, my mythosaur as well. Yeah,
amazing. So we'll make sure for our listeners on the road that haven't watched the live feed but are listening to the post episode of our visit with Jen, and we'll make sure that we put Jen's picture up on our guest section of our guest site, as well as social media links. So if you want to send me a message with how to spell some of those things, I'll make sure we get those links up on our website as well. Other than that, I will like to get a shout out one more time to, of course, CR Sabers and Blue Bull's Outer Rim Saber Parts and the wonderful sabers they have. Make sure you go over to their site. Again, the web addresses are down here. Check them out. Amazing selection of pre-built, as well as if you want to customize your own sabers. So check them out, join the club. And of course, make sure that you check out the 501st and the Mandalorian Mercs. They've got wonderful pages, and they do a lot of amazing charity things for people. So you get to have a great time. You get to be with like-minded people. You talk Star Wars, and you do good things for other people. So it's absolutely wonderful. And again, Jen, thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, super love it. It looks like, we've got, I think there was one more post. Kylo Jen.
Oh yeah, so I have. That's right. I have my Facebook cosplay page, Kylo Jen cosplay.
Oh, there you go. So
Yeah,
Kylo Jen. I like that.
I tend to post more on Instagram, but I do have my Kylo Jen cosplay as well. So
And
you
you
could see my.
hesitated when I asked about fictional character crushes.
It's because I wanted to like, I don't know, go back to my teenage emo self apparently. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm being called.
And on that, we'll leave her blushing in that one.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Again, thank you all the listeners who are on the show, our viewers tonight, and thanks for everybody for chiming in, saying hi, and of course sharing in all the excitement with us. Make sure you tune in next week. We will be back. Of course, if you want a chance to win this lovely Propel Star Wars TIE Fighter, let me bring that back up again. Okay, so it's in a very cool custom box with the Imperial wax seal. I got to move over. Imperial wax seal on it. And then, of course, who doesn't want this amazing, lovely, lit, full sounds, clips from the movies. It flies, it fires, it makes full TIE Fighter sounds. You got a chance to win this one, so make sure that you're going to have to like our Facebook page, and you have to like our Instagram page, share it with someone, and or like tag someone in that, and make sure you give us a like, and you'll be entered into that. So make sure that you just post. What I'll do is I will post a picture up of this prize shortly, and when you see it, that's where you do your like, you share, and just put done, and we'll make sure we enter you in for the draw.
Nice.
We'll do that next week. So excellent. Again, Jen, thank you very much for being on the show. We super appreciate it, and we hope to see everybody again next week.
Cool.
More Star Wars. We love it.
Heck yeah.
And